I'm Danielle, the domestic scientist, and in today's video, I'm going to give you a tour of my common areas in my home so you can see my home decorating journey and how I'm working a summer to fall transition. So stay tuned. So the lower level of my home has a pretty open floor plan, and from the front door you can see into the office, dining room, and living room. So for that reason, I tried to make the looks as cohesive as possible. However, the dining room and office directly mirror each other, and I think it's more important that those rooms match. So one of the things that I've done trying to make a cohesive look is to use the same area rug in each room. Now I purchased this area rug from At Home and I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's very monochromatic and it has hints of a light grayish blue in there, which I love blue, and I think it would go great if I painted my walls either a tan color or a gray color. I think it pairs very well with the dark furniture that I have in my office. Now, one of the challenges to trying to make a cohesive look in your home is that I have some old things that I had from my first home and some new things I purchased specifically for this home. And sometimes trying to marry the two can be a little bit challenging. So for example, all the furniture in my office is very dark, but on the other side of my dining room, I have a lighter brown table. And so those are some things that I'm kind of trying to work around, and I'm just taking you along my journey of what I'm doing. Now, my office is a little bit different also because it's a space that I do share with my husband, and it is used for business purposes. He often has a lot of video conference calls, so the decor behind him is very important because it is seen in a professional setting. So I try to make sure the office is neutral and professional as possible. Now, the bottom row of that bookshelf is where we really get down to business and put some of our very important books that are heavier. But the top two rows are the place in that room where I take the time to decorate a little bit more and where I'm more worried about the aesthetics over the function. Now, that being said, I try to make sure all the pieces that I use are unisex and compatible with different looks. Now, for this particular office, I did some rearranging and I created some vignettes on the second level just because I want to make sure that the office has a really great appeal, but it doesn't look too cluttered with books. Now, earlier I had done a vignette on this bookshelf where I used two different spheres. One was a white marble sphere, which was so gorgeous, but it was completely round. And then I used another sphere that was coated with small shells. And they were both beautiful, they were both white, and they added an interesting balance. However, that white marble sphere fell off the bookshelf and it didn't damage my floor, but after that I decided I'm going to take it back and I'm just going to stick with these spheres that have a flat bottom. So that's the look that I'm going for. Now, one of the things that I like about this look is it adds some earth tones and some greens, which is perfect for the fall, and you'll see that I am using some shades of green and some earth tone in the dining room. So I think these two rooms mirror each other very well, and it gives me some flexibility to add a little bit more green and blue in my living room. So now let's head over to the dining room, and what we see in the dining room is that I have a very warm and monochromatic color palette over there because I have such a nice earthy table, and it's fall time. I want that summer to fall transition to be very warm and cozy. So everything in here is earthy and monochromatic, but it is punctuated with shades of green. Now, all the shades of green I've used are a little bit more on the earthy side so that it goes a little bit better. And I think that it pairs very well with what's going on in the office with some of the green pieces of those decorative spheres. The other thing that I think works in this dining room is that I use my black candle holders, which pair very well with the dark furniture on my office. So I think that helps the mirroring a little bit. It's not going to be identical, but we certainly want what we have to complement each other. So overall, in these two rooms, I'm planning to keep mostly a monochromatic palette, but punch it up with color whenever I want to. Now, I know that's going to be a bit challenging because I change out my dining room tablescape very frequently for purposes of YouTube videos, and also because I just like to do that. But it is a work in progress, and it's something that I'm continuing to work on, so I hope you continue to join me on this journey. So now we're moving from the dining room into the living room, and in the living room I'm going to play with different shades of green. So one of my favorite colors is turquoise, and it inspired so much about the living room. So when I think of the architecture in this room, there's just so much that I love about it. I love the wall of windows, and this house came with blinds already installed, but the top 3 windows, there are no blinds, and so it just allows lots of natural light to come through, and I still have quite a bit of privacy. On the left hand side, I do have a beautiful wet bar that I like, and I think it's great for entertaining in this space. And on the right side, I have a fireplace, and I have 6 ginormous cutouts that I use to decorate in this space. But for me, one of the things that I did in this room that kind of started to define the look is this rug. I have a beautiful turquoise rug, and actually let me go ahead and insert a quick video so you can get a closer look of the rug. So this is my rug. I purchased this rug from I think Value City Furniture, and I absolutely love it. It is just beautiful and abstract and has a nice amount of turquoise, but not, it's a nice pattern. It's busy enough to be interesting, but not so much that it overtakes the room, and it doesn't really pull your eye in a negative way. And this really inspired the look, and honestly it kind of pushed me towards the couches that I purchased. So the couches that I purchased are a gray couch, but when I pair it with this rug, it really brings out the blue hues in that gray. And actually when I put it with my monochromatic rug that I have in both my office and in my dining room, it kind of tones down the blue undertones a little bit. So I do really like the couches, and I think they're a very sharp look for this room. Now, the coffee table styling for me is always very difficult. I'm just, I'm learning how to decorate. So, everything for me is an experiment, and it's a journey and a bit more of a production than it probably is for other people. But I did find these turquoise pumpkins that I thought were really cute. Now, my fireplace decorations are always for me something that I'm working on, because the space is so large it can be a little bit difficult to decorate. My 2 African pieces I have at the bottom, I will probably move to the top because it's so high up, and then I'll probably just use the 4 boxes at the bottom to change things out seasonally. One of the things that I like is that the couch is very simple. I can put my turquoise pillows with it, put some turquoise coffee table decor, and 2 pops of turquoise in the fireplace area, and it just pairs so well with the rug, and all of a sudden I have a brighter and airier room. Now, what I like about these glass pumpkins that I just picked up from Home Goods is that it has a hint of like an olive hue in it, and it has some champagne tones, and I think it looks really nice with what's going on in the dining room. And actually I played around with just putting those pumpkins on the dining table, and it does look really cute, so I will probably use those pumpkins in a tablescape as well. But I did create this particular look for the living room, and then I switched up the coffee table vignette. So it was like Christmas in my house. I happened to find a box where I had these turquoise candle holders inside. Now, I purchased these years ago in my first house, and I just thought they were so cute. It's like a mercury glass, and it's kind of got a hammered finish, so it's really textural and really pretty. And like I said, I love turquoise. I thought it was so perfect, and I just put that inside of this lantern that I picked up from Pottery Barn Outlet. Now, one of the things that I like about lanterns is they're very versatile, and you can put different things inside of it. And oftentimes when you see a lantern, your first impulse is to get a really big candle, but the candles that would fit a lantern this size, or even the one on a dining table, can get really expensive. So in this one, I just put my mercury glass candle holder in it, and I think it looks really great. It helps the color to pop, and I think it looks really cute. So I have 2 different vignettes, and then I left the room and came back, and lo and behold, the sun was shining directly into my coffee table stylings. So I reshot this video just so you could see how pretty it is when the sun is beaming right down into it. So I think it's so pretty, and the colors are soothing, and I'm really liking the way the living room is looking. I like the fact that I'm using different shades of green, and they don't have to match, but they just should complement complement each other. I don't want what's going on in the living room to really clash with what's going on in the office or the dining room. Each room has their own distinctive look and feel, but I think that look across the house is pretty nice. I'm working towards getting it to be a little bit more cohesive, but certainly I think right now everything is complementing each other very well, and I'm really excited about how things are coming along. I do know that once I paint, it will kind of tie things together a little bit more, and I think it will take a little bit more of the guesswork out of my home decorating journey. But at any rate, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment in the box below and let me know what you think of my summer to fall transition, and what you think about the different spaces that I have in my home. And if you have any comments or suggestions, be sure to share that, because I'd really love to hear from you. This is Danielle, the Domestic Scientist. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.